I heard that your girlfriend has Italian origin. Is it true?
Fiance.
Fiance.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. She's Italian and Haitian. Yeah.
And which city?
We don't know. I don't know that.
No problem.
Yeah.
Which is the most important tattoo for you?
The most important tattoo. Oh man. I don't know. I wouldn't say one's more important than the other. With my tattoos, and I think what a lot of people tattoos, everyone has a very strong meaning. So for me, I can't decide on which one is the one that means the most. I have ones that meant something to me when I was a little boy. I have one that meant something to me 4 years ago. So, and they all stay true. They're still strong in my heart, you know. So I don't know.
Okay. You start playing at Washington Park. Can we say that was the safe place for your growing up as a player and as a kid?
Safe as in what? I wouldn't really call it safe place, but that was the park that was right next to my house. I started really playing organized basketball kind of further down the street at the YMCA, the Roxbury YMCA. A guy named Tony Richards had developed a boys and girls basketball program called No Books, No Balls. And I started playing then since I was 5.5.
I've read the first meeting with Coach Kalun is when he went to see you play in the AAU tournament, if I'm not wrong. Is it correct you play in the warm-up an air ball?
Yeah. I had
a bad impact.
Yeah, no, I had an air ball. That first time I seen him. He probably saw me before, but that was the first time I saw him watching the game. And then layup line, I airballed the shot. You know, I thought it was done after that.
But no, you play obviously at Uconn. You win 2 titles. What are the differences between the 2 titles?
The differences, and I always joke around with my brother Kimba Walker. Is I tell him the first one he gave it to me, you know, and the second one I made sure I worked for it. No, but I think the biggest difference is I was young. I had a decent role, just play defense, bring energy off the bench. And then the second one was more so me understanding now that the team was, you know, I was part of the team with Ryan Boatwright, DeAndre Daniels, Nils Giffey, those guys, Tyler Orlando, the guys that made a huge impact, you know, on a high level minutes usage. And then, you know, we had guys who came in the game, Terrence Samuels, Amita Brima, a bunch of guys who played not so many minutes, but they were in the same role I was as a freshman. So it was just a difference in roles.
Can we say you played the last year of your Uconn career for giving back what Uconn gives to you?
Yeah. I mean, that was the basic reason why I stayed. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's what I told a lot of people. You know, we were not allowed to play in my junior year because we had an APR ban, academic ban, so it wouldn't allow us to play. So I understood that to give myself another shot, you know, we had a good chance to see my senior year. So I decided to go back, and, you know, history made history.
Do you think your statement about payment and CAA players you've done after the game had a huge impact for growing the situation and fix it in some way?
We're definitely best to get a scholarship to our universities, but at the end of the day, that doesn't cover everything. You know, we do have hungry nights that we don't have enough money to get food, and sometimes, you know, money is needed. So, you know, but I don't think, you know, you should stretch it out to hundreds of thousands of dollars for players, you know, because that's not, you know, a lot of times guys don't know how to handle themselves for money. So, but I think, you know, Northwestern has an idea, and we'll see where it goes.
Possibly, yeah, but I think it was trending in that area. I would hope it was trending in that area. You know, I think at the time, and a lot of people blew it out of proportion, but nothing I said was untrue. Everything I said was still true to that day. And you know, I get a lot of guys who went to school after me come up to me and be like, man, thank you, or like joke about it. Like, man, as soon as you left, man, they started giving us everything. And I'm like, man, it kind of needs to be that way because, there are moments where, student athletes are just, tired from coming home at 3 in.the morning from playing their away game and then have to go to class at 7 in.the morning. So there's a lot of things that but needed to be fixed, but I think, it's headed in the right direction.
You play in NBA alongside CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard. How hard and fun is to practice with them?
Yeah, it was extremely. I was extremely grateful to play alongside of them. I went to Portland at a time when my confidence was very low, so I was extremely excited to go against the NBA elite guards to see where I stood. And I think for me, I needed to do that. I needed to feel what it's like to play against these guys and learn from these guys, and being able to just sit down and watch them while they were playing in those games. So it was definitely exciting to play alongside them. It was definitely difficult to play against them in practice, but it made me a better player, and I'm definitely grateful for that, those 2 years there.
Do you have any regret about your NBA career?
Regrets? No. I mean, I don't really regret much in my NBA career. I think when I retire from basketball, I think that's when I would sit down and think about regrets. But I'm so much in the present that I don't really have my mind thinking about what's in the back.
In your opinion, what are the main differences between NBA basketball and the European basketball?
Oh, I could go down a list of things, but I keep it simple. I think for me, as a point guard watching the game, obviously the biggest difference that I've noticed is, there's no defensive 3 seconds.
Okay.
Meaning, when you get by somebody, someone may be there. In the NBA, when you get by somebody, there's a chance they may be there, may not be there, because it's not so much a defensive 3 seconds thing. It's just in the NBA, you have guys on a wing who are creative, who are very talented, and they can create for themselves. So no one wants to leave their man. No one wants to be at fault for their man. And overseas, it's a team unit thing. Once the ball shifts to the right, the whole team shifts on defense. You're gonna have at least 2 people in the paint ready for a drive. So I think for me, that's one of the biggest difference that I've noticed. And I say it to all the time, these guys, I think people who come overseas don't realize how disciplined the players are over here. Where in the States, we're very creative, we're very fluid, we try to make things happen. Over here, you're very more disciplined. But when you have guys like the Lukas, the Jokic's, they're creative and disciplined. So that makes them so much better than the regular average players over here. So those are kind of the things I've noticed. I mean, there's a lot of things, but those are the 2 biggest things I've noticed so far.
I have a EuroLeague podcast with my friend, and when you went to Zenit, we saw the semi-final of Super Cup. You played extremely well, 33 points, and we're hyped to see your first season in EuroLeague. What happens despite the injury? When injury was the most part, what was only bad luck, or there's something else in that season that not went in the right way? I
ruptured my ankle. I don't think people realize how difficult that is, but I ruptured my ankle, and I was not healthy. And the process was a long process. I wasn't healthy until, it happened in September of 19th. I didn't get healthy until middle of August of the next year. So almost 12 months, and it's not so much an injury that you can just easily wake up from it and get. It was a long process, and yeah.
Very tough. Mm-hmm. Messina said he can bring you here in Milan in December. Is it right? And what happens for not having you here from December, because Olimpia Milano needs you?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't. I don't know. I think, if I'm not mistaken, was Tim here already? Timothy, was he already here?
Yes. He comes at the beginning of the season when shit goes down, if I'm not wrong.
Okay, then I'm not sure. I didn't really speak to anybody. I was actually I was in Mexico. I was playing for Mexico City Capitones, so I didn't really speak to anybody. But yeah, I mean that's one thing that obviously I think about watching the EuroLeague playoffs. Had I been here a little earlier, then maybe we would have made playoffs. Maybe it would have been a great opportunity for the team to play in the playoffs and do something special. But yeah, who knows? I mean, that's he say she say stuff that could have been.
You click immediately, but with this group of guys, with the European style of player, how do you feel in this moment?
I'm excited. I said it all the time. I don't think people give enough credit for the team that was already here. I didn't think I had to do anything other than just try to bring a little energy that they needed. I watched them play before I came, and one thing I noticed is they're one of the most talented teams without me, and I think for me the only thing I noticed was they were putting themselves in positions at the end of the game and not making the right play or something like that. And it wasn't like anyone was at fault. There's moments where I'm in the game and I don't make the right play, but I think my energy and just my confidence has helped in ways that I didn't think it would. I just go out there and just try to bring a lot of energy because I can't say this enough. The guys, these guys are already talented. These guys are already one of the top teams in EuroLeague. Obviously, the standings doesn't show that, but for me, that's one thing I noticed. I knew when I was coming here, I was like, this team is already talented as it is. I don't have to do too much. I just have to be someone they lean on when they need it in an important moment.
And obviously, with your good performance, fans wondering if you can stay. Have you already think about your future or not?
No, I haven't thought about it. Definitely something I have to think about with my family. This is definitely, I've been here for 3.5 months or so. Been a beautiful time here. The culture here is beautiful. The fan base, the food, just the organization itself. It's been wonderful, but it's definitely something I have to think about. Something that would be new to me. So something that me and my family will have to sit down and talk about, and hopefully we'll come up with something.
Which aspect makes Hector Messina a great coach, one of the greatest coaches of all time?
His experience. I think for me, knowing what type of coach he is, watching him, and understanding how smart he is as a coach. Defensively, one of the best coaches I've ever been with. But he is definitely, his experience has helped him a lot. And I think for me, that's one thing I definitely I love about him, his passion for the game. He yells and stuff like that, but I think for me, it's just he's very competitive and he wants to win every game, which we all do. So,
which is the most talented player you've played with?
In my career,
yeah,
Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade, yeah, easily. Obviously, because he's a Hall of Fame guy. But yeah.
And which is the hardest defender you had to play against in your whole career?
Oh, Drew Holiday. Okay. Yeah, Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday or Kawhi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is the most important bucket of your career?
Most important bucket of my career? Ooh. I don't know.
I've seen one against Florida. You shoot, you miss.
Yeah, that's
the ball comes back incredibly in your hands, and you.
My teammate tipped it and it went in my hands. But I wouldn't say that's the most important. That's one of my most iconic because what it did for our team and where it was at. But I guess the most important is the last one I make. I think for me it's just. I think either the first shot I ever made in my life or the last one, because that's just who I am. I'm just passionate about my game. So it's like first shot made me and continue to push me to want to make the next one, make the next one. Or the last shot is more so like I don't want that to be my last shot ever made. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's a good question.
And the last one, which players inspired your game the most?
Oh, easy. Allen Iverson, without a doubt. Kobe Bryant. Without a doubt, and Kevin Garnett.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.